So for people who are new to the jam, as much as I know you would love to sing along with Mark and Sue, we do ask that you stay muted, because when everyone's unmuted, it's just a big, big mess. But in between songs, please feel free to unmute and cheer and applaud and send Mark and Sue and Sharon some love, because they do all this for us. They put in countless hours, and it just, they're sort of there. They can't hear you, right? So let's send them. So let's just send them some love right now. Everyone unmute. Let's practice unmuting. Everyone unmute and send them some love.
Love you guys.
And if you have, so I'm going to be sharing my screen so you can follow along with the music. If you have questions, just maybe drop them in the chat. That might be easier. And then, but I'll get to them when I can. So it may take me a second or two to answer your question, but know that I will get there eventually. So, and you can also drop in the chat, some love that way too, because we look at the chats afterwards. And so if you don't unmute, but you want to send your love, you can do it that way too.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
We can't see the chats from where we are.
But you see it later.
Yeah, we see it later. So we won't be responding to you directly in the chats during the jam. And you can all mute now, but what Ellen said about opening up in between, it means so much to us because it gives us energy. Otherwise, we're hearing nothing. It's just kind of...
Thank you.
Yeah, so it's lovely to hear you all. It can be booing, cheering, can't throw tomatoes because, well, you could, but anyway, but we love to hear from you and get your energy from in between songs. Okay, let's start off since we're getting a little late, and I did throw in one or two extra songs. When I'm 64 is the first song we're going to do. It was written by Paul McCartney when he was only about 15. The Beatles used to play it as a regular part of their set when they were still known as the Quarrymen, pre-1960. The song was released on the Beatles' 1967 album, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Are we ready, my friends? Oh, and everybody on kazoo, you're going to be starting on E. If you're going to play the kazoo entry with me, you know what it sounds like. That's your starting note. You ready, Mark?
Ready?
Yeah. A 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. When I get older, losing my hair, many years from now, will you still be sending me a Valentine? Birthday greetings, bottle of wine. If I hang out till 2:45, would you lock the door? Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64? You'll be older too, and if you say the word, I could stay with you. I could be handy mending a fuse when your lights have gone. In a sweater by the fireside, Sunday mornings go for a ride, doing the garden, digging the weeds. Who could ask for more? Will you still need me? Will you still need me when I'm 64? Every summer we could rent a cottage in the Isle of Wight. If it's not too near, we shall swim and say, grandchildren on your knee, Vera, Chuck, and Dave. Send me a postcard, drop me a line, stating point of view. Indicate precisely what you mean to say. Yours sincerely,
good.
Oh, Yahoo! Sounds good.
About 84.
84. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We're counting on it. 84. Yeah, we just turned 65 this year, so
You're still
we've got. I know we have lots of time left, right? So tonight was all love songs, and there's so. I mean, right? Most songs are love songs of some sort. Love. They're all connected somehow with feelings, good and bad. But this time around, we more focused on regular love songs, and if you notice, we don't repeat songs that we've done generally. We bring in new songs, so we are not doing any of the songs we did in our last Valentine Jam. These are new songs, and next Valentine's we'll have new songs again. So yeah, so you'll hear some different interesting ones tonight.
So might have been my anniversary. But you
you're-
said good and bad?
Well, good and bad, yeah.
Well, I
Love.
fall into that latter category.
Aw. Yeah. February 15th. Okay, so the next song is called Perhaps Love.
This was a request, wasn't it?
It was a request.
Yeah.
I think it was Bert that requested this.
That's right. I love this one. Thank you.
Ah, there you go, Bert. It's a song that John Denver wrote and originally recorded as a duet with Placido Domingo. It appeared on Domingo's 1981 album of the same title. Denver wrote the song for his wife Annie Martel while they were separated and moving towards a divorce. In an interview the day after Denver's death in 1997, Annie said that this was her favorite song, more so than Annie's song, which was also for her, but this was her favorite. So we're going to do this, and I think you're finger picking this, aren't you, Sharon?
Yes.
Okay. And there's a little riff that I've included down in the instrumental, so if you'd like to try that out, and you know how to read tab, all it means is that's the E and the A string of your ukulele, and and the numbers just mean the fret that you put your finger on. So tab is super easy to read. You just have to know, and I always provide a count underneath so you know the rhythm. But Sharon will be playing that, and or you can just play the chords in the instrumental there, the B minor, the E minor, the C, D, and the G. Okay? So I'm going to strum, Sharon's going to finger pick, and Mark's going to lead us in song.
All right. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2. Perhaps love is like a resting place, a shelter from the storm. It exists to give you comfort. It is there to keep you warm. And in those times of trouble, when you are most alone, the memory of love will bring you home. Perhaps love is like a window, perhaps an open door. It invites you to come closer. It wants to show you more. And even if you lose yourself and don't know what to do, the memory of love will see you through. Oh, love to some is like a cloud, to some as strong as steel. For some a way of living, for some a way to feel. And some say love is holding on, and some say letting go. Some say love is everything, and some say they don't know. Perhaps love is like the ocean, full of conflict, full of pain. Like a fire when it's cold outside, or thunder when it rains. If I should live forever and all my dreams come true, my memories of love will be of you. And some say love is holding on, and some say letting go. Some say love is everything, and some say they don't know. Perhaps love is like the mountains, full of conflict, full of change. Like a fire when it's cold outside, or thunder when it rains. If I should live forever, and all my dreams come true, my memories of love will be of you.
Lovely.
That was beautiful. Highly suits your voice.
Thanks.
Beautiful.
He's
Beauty.
my Valentine.
Nice job, Mark.
I'm lucky to
I
have
swear
him.
it's
Nice song. Yeah, ooh, nice.
I swear it's been in a Muppet movie.
Okay, next song
Oh, hi.
is
Hi.
Can't Take My Eyes Off of You.
Hi. You're the cat.
This is a 1967 song written by Bob Crewe and Bob Gaudio and recorded as a single by Frankie Valli. Gaudio is a bandmate, or was a bandmate of Valli's in the Four Seasons. The song was among Valli's biggest hits, earning a gold record and reaching #2 on the Billboard Hot 100. Stuck behind Windy by the Association. Who's going down the streets of the city? Yeah, that one. It was Valli's biggest solo hit until he hit #1 in 1975 with My Eyes Adored You. My Eyes Adored You. Yeah, that one. Frankie Valli's version of Can't Take My Eyes Off of You was used by NASA as a wake-up song on the STS-126 space shuttle mission to celebrate the wedding anniversary of astronaut Christopher Ferguson, one of the mission's crew members. Cool.
Wow.
Okay, so this one, Sharon, could you just change to the cam for me? See if that works.
You can.
The uke cam. The uke cam. There we go. So not really super close, but so those opening chords, I've put them just in at the top there above the, it's an A, a G sharp, and a G. And those are bar chords, so I bar the 4th fret, and then I add my second finger to the 2nd string, 5th fret, and my 3rd finger to the 4th string, and that would be the 6th fret. So,
It's like an F chord, but only barred.
but, and then you run down. So the A, G sharp, and then the G. Now that's just at the beginning. So no problems if you can't do that. But also, what you could do, and this is something always to try, is alternate ways of doing things that also sound okay. So instead of that full bar chord A, you could just form a G shape on your 4th fret, and it sounds pretty close to the full, fretted, the bar chord A. So you could just do that G shape, then slide it down, and then into your G. So beginners, people that don't want to do bar chords for whatever reason, you can do that, and it'll sound just fine.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So, and there is a C minor. That's, you can do it simplified. You can do just the bottom 3 strings. When I'm talking about the strings, I number them from 1 to 4. 1 is the string closest to the floor, and 4 is the one closest to your chin. And my fingers are numbered. 1 is the index, 2, 3, 4. This is my thumb. So that'll help you when I'm describing chords. So in this one, the C minor is on the, you can do it just on the 3rd fret like that. And you can see the G major 7 is just down on the 2nd fret. same shape. Okay, and the G6, simple chord, the G6. So just be ready for those chords, and here we go. For anyone that wants to.
Sue, are you gonna, oh, there we go, changing the camera back.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Nope.
And here we are.
Okay, so the opening kazoo riff, if you're going to do it with me, I actually put it in the top there. So we're starting on the G chord, okay, not on the A or the G sharp. We're starting on the G chord in that first line, and the G chords in the second line as well. And that starts on, so, or you can do it on your U. So whether you do it on your uke or whether you do it on your kazoo, either way. Okay, Mark, let's do this.
Okay.
Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. You'd be like heaven to touch. I wanna hold you so much. At long last, love has arrived. I thank God I'm alive. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. Pardon the way that I stare. There's nothing else to compare. The sight of you leaves me weak. There are no words left to speak. But if you feel like I feel, please let me know that it's real. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. Here we go. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. You'd be like heaven to touch. I wanna hold you so much. At long last, love has arrived. And I thank God I'm alive. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you.
Nice job.
Very nice job.
Everyone get those high notes. musical, Jersey Boys, was so good. I had the joy of seeing that in Toronto when I was at a business meeting. And a friend took me out to see it in Toronto. It was awesome. Okay. The next song is Could I Have This Dance? It's a song recorded by the Canadian country music artist Anne Murray in 1980. Oops. So remember, you have to be muted now again, folks. Yeah.
Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. Could I Have This Dance? Recorded by the Canadian country music artist Anne Murray in 1980. It was used in the 1980 film Urban Cowboy and appeared on the Anne Murray's Greatest Hits compilation album. It became Murray's 5th #1 country hit as a solo artist. And do I have anything here special? No? No? We're just going to enjoy the lovely sound. Yes. Okay. And this is a waltz, so it's going to be in 3/4 time. All right?
We hope.
That's the plan.
That's the plan.
Ready?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'll always remember the song they were playing the first time we danced, and I knew as we swayed to the music and held to each other, I fell in love with you. Could I have this dance for the rest of my life? Would you be my partner every night? When we're together, it feels so right. Could I have this dance for the rest of my life? I'll always remember that magic moment when I held you close to me. As we move together, I do forever. You're all I ever need. Could I have this dance for the rest of my life? Would you be my partner every night? When we're together, it feels so right. Could I have this dance for the rest of my life? Could I have this dance for the rest of my life? Would you be my partner every night? When we're together, it feels so right. Could I have this dance for the rest of my life?
Beautiful harmonies, guys. Really nice.
Well done.
Absolutely beautiful.
Love the harmonies. They're great.
I love how we love having our Sharon here with us, boy. I tell you, we've been bubbled since the beginning, almost, eh?
Well, last
Really?
fall,
Yeah.
last fall.
Yeah. So,
That's when I saw this.
not that Sharon lives with us, but she's one of our close social circle bubbles, they used to call them.
They're not doing my laundry yet.
No.
Your shoes have taken up permanent residence at our front
I
door.
do leave my shoes here.
Okay. Everybody okay? The sound is okay out there tonight?
Yeah, very nice.
A1.
No hums or anything.
Perfect.
Yay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to thank Ellen. While you're all here, I want to thank Ellen for being the Zoom
Yeah.
host for us.
Very good.
Thank you, Ellen. Great introduction tonight.
Sharon for coming out. She's actually the leader of the Vernon ukulele players, just outside of Ottawa here. And we
Yeah.
have lots of Vernon people here too.
Yeah.
And I want to thank Sharon's brother, Brian, who did a 2.5-hour sound check with us on Sunday. Because it takes a lot of sound checking to make sure everything's okay.
He likes it.
So it's a lot of fun. Next song we have is You and I. So you may have seen on the BUG Facebook that I shared with you the humorous interview that we did on CBC Radio 1. It was our very first time being interviewed about BUG and on the radio, and it was live, and we'd only been playing uke for about a year and a half, I guess. So our hands were shaking so badly. It was just like a wet noodle trying to strum the strings and shaking. And anyway, so this song, we were prepared. So I said I had a story. When we were on, she's saying, you know, I don't know, you folks can't see, she said to Mark and I, but behind you, the control room has filled up with a whole bunch of people. Well, right away that strikes terror in our hearts, of course. And then she asked us to play a little bit of what we were going to be playing down on the stage with Lucky Uke, and it was We're Not Going to Take It. Well, thank goodness I had brought the whole song along, but we only expected to play like a little bit of it, and then as we're playing it, we get near the end of the first verse, and she's using her hands to say, stretch it out, and we're like, oh my God. Anyway, this song we played this after, and of course, you don't get any do-overs on
Live radio. No,
but
not at all.
Ingrid Michaelson was very big at this time. You and I is a song written and recorded by Ingrid Michaelson for her 2008 compilation album, BUG. Her second album, Girls and Boys, was released in 2006 on MySpace, and a music producer from the TV drama Grey's Anatomy found her music online, and from there, her musical career took off. In 2008, Michaelson released her third album and her first compilation, which was this one, BUG, and this song is from that album. And now she's still writing tons of music for films, TV shows, and even Broadway. So she's very prolific. Oh, yes.
We have an a cappella at the end, so we'll be putting the ukes aside for the last verse and just doing a stomp, stomp, clap, and singing.
Yeah, so when you get to the bottom of the a cappella, so stomp, stomp, clap, starting on the left. So 2 stomps, so let's get rich and buy our parents' homes in the south of France. So stomp, stomp, clap, okay? Ready? We can do this.
We can.
We don't have a drum machine.
Nope.
Nothing. We're going real low tech tonight. We don't even have any keyboard or anything in here. Just simple love songs. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2. Don't you worry there, my honey. We might not have any money, but we've got our love to pay the bill. Maybe I think you're cute and funny, maybe
Let's get rich and buy our parents homes in the south of France. Let's get rich and give everybody nice sweaters and teach them how to dance. Let's get rich and build a house on a mountain, making everybody look like ants. Way up there, you and I, you and I. Well, you might be a bit confused.
You might be a little bit bruised.
But baby, how we spoon like no one else. So I will help you read those books if you will soothe my worried looks, and we will put the lonesome on the shelf. Oh, let's get rich and buy our parents homes in the south of France. Let's get rich and give everybody nice sweaters and teach them how to dance. Let's get rich and build a house on a mountain, making everybody look like ants. Way up there, you and I, you and I.
Oh, let's get rich and buy our parents homes in the south of France.
Let's get rich and give everybody nice sweaters and teach them how to dance. Let's get rich and build a house on a mountain, making everybody look like ants. From way up there, you and I, you and I.
Fun.
I never could stamp in harmony.
Great song. We will rock.
I thought when the Stomp Stomp you were going to get into We Will Rock You.
Yeah. Oh, lots of fun.
Okay.
Okay, the next song we're going to do is Daisy Bell, Bicycle Built for Two. It was composed by Harry Dacre in 1892. The song was originally recorded and released by Dan W. Quinn in 1893, charting at #1 for 9 consecutive weeks. The song is said to have been inspired by Daisy Gravel, Countess of Warwick, one of the many mistresses of King Edward VII. So this is a favorite when we're playing out at seniors' residences. It's in 3/4 time, no fancy chords in this. And do I have everything? Yep. So you all know this, right? Ready, Mark?
Yep.
I think we have a
We
drum
did-
machine.
we-
What you hear with the beat in some of the songs we're doing is a drum machine. And so we spend time figuring out what drum beats go well with the different songs we're using. And so let's hear it. Sort of like a metronome, right? Which is really good to practice with too. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There is a flower within my heart, Daisy, Daisy, planted one day by a glancing dart, planted by Daisy Bell. Whether she loves me or loves me not, sometimes it's hard to tell. Yet I am longing to share the lot of beautiful Daisy Bell. Everyone, Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer too. I'm half crazy, all for the love of you. It won't be a stylish marriage, I can't afford a carriage, but you'll look sweet upon the seat of a bicycle built for two. We will go tandem as man and wife, Daisy, Daisy, peddling away down the road of life. I lights in the dazzling eyes, a beautiful daisy bell. Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer due. I'm half crazy, all for the love of you. It won't be a stylish marriage, I can't afford a carriage, but you'll look sweet upon the seat of a bicycle built for two. I will stand by you in weal or woe. Daisy, Daisy, you'll be the bell which I'll ring, you know. Sweet little Daisy bell. You'll take the lead in each trip we make. Then if I don't do well, I will convince you to use the brake, my beautiful Daisy bell. Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer due. I'm half crazy, all for the love of you. It won't be a stylish marriage, I can't afford a carriage, but you'll look sweet upon the seat of a bicycle built for two. Yay!
Very nice, very nice.
Okay. Next song we have up is the song Diana. Diana brought Paul Anka to stardom in 1957 as it rocketed to #1 on the Canadian and US music charts. Diana is one of the best-selling singles ever by a Canadian recording artist. Paul Anka, who actually was born in Ottawa and attended Fisher Park High School here, turned a crush on a girl who was 5 years older than him into his breakthrough hit. He was just 15 years old when he wrote Diana. He said, "She was a little out of my league. She really didn't want anything to do with me, which made it even worse." The crush didn't go anywhere, but the song did. It hit #1 in the US and UK, launching his career. He and his family then moved from Ottawa, Canada, to New Jersey, where they set up a publishing and managing operation to support his career. Anka became one of the biggest hit makers of the pre-Beatles rock era.
Sharon, could you change the view?
That's what happens when you tell the girls you're old.
Yeah.
You're sold, yeah, true, right?
For any bass players out there, on the website in this song, there's some bass charts there for it. If you wanted to give it a try or practice, maybe not tonight, but at some point, there's some bass tab
Yeah,
on the website.
it's good bass. I better get my trumpet, what we call our trumpet section when we're out playing events.
The other thing we should mention for the new people that might be here is the down arrows. There's a bunch of down arrows here, what they mean.
Yes, that's true. So in the middle here, you'll see down arrows. And so that just means that you play the chord once. Well, I'll try to play the right chord.
Doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Oh, my darling, oh, my lover, tell me that there. So you just play the chord. Down arrows mean you strum down the chord once and you don't play it again. You don't play until the next chord bumps. And in this case, we've got lots of arrows. And that's why in this song, you can do the second inversion C. Sharon, do you have the, you're hidden. No, that's okay.
I can do. You want it?
Sure. So, I'm just gonna show you the second inversion C. It's also at the top. So that's where I just put my finger on the 3rd fret, my first finger on the 3rd fret, 1st and 2nd strings, and then I place my 2nd finger on the 4th fret, 3rd string, and my 3rd finger on the 4th string, 5th fret. And that way, it enables me to go to the C minor shape very easily. And then the G, you can do the G as a bar chord as well. Or you can just play the regular G. Or you can play all the chords regular. You know, the easy C, the easy C minor, and the easy G. That's all we're going to say.
Okay.
Let's do it. Channel your Paul Anka.
Ready?
Ooh. A 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm so young and you're so old. This, my darling, I've been told. I don't care just what they say, 'cause forever I will pray. You and I will be as free as the birds up in the trees. Oh, please stay by me, Diana. Thrills I get when you hold me close. Oh, my darling, you're the most. I love you, but do you love me? Oh, Diana, can't you see? I love you with all my heart, and I hope we will never part. Oh, please stay with me, Diana. Oh, my darling, oh, my lover, tell me that there is no other. I love you with my heart. Oh, 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 oh. Only you can take my heart. Only you can tear it apart. When you hold me in your loving arms, I can feel you, all your charm. Hold me, darling, hold me tight. Squeeze me, baby, with all your might. Oh, please stay with me, Diana. Oh, please, Diana. Oh, please, Diana.
Beauty.
That was beautiful, beautiful.
Very lovely.
Very lovely, guys. Yay.
Oh,
Very
it's
nice.
wonderful to hear you guys. Yay! Okay. Next song we're going to do is Can't Help Falling in Love. So, this one was originally recorded by Elvis Presley and featured in his 1961 film Blue Hawaii. I saw it at the drive-in. I don't know where you saw it, but I did see it in 1961 at the drive-in, all those movies. The melody is based on Plaisir d'amour, which was a 1784, a popular romance by Jean-Paul Egide Martini. And so it's based on an old, very old melody from the 1700s. And what do we want to say about this? I gave you a sample of the finger picking at the start at the top. That's what we're going to be doing. But you can also just play the chords. You can just down strum gently the chords. And then the bridge pattern, I provided the strumming, and I suggested you watch, I think it was Cynthia Lynn's tutorial on this, which is really good. So the strum pattern in the bridge will be so I'm just barely touching sort of the top string, so you don't have to strum down the full strum for each strum, right? It's just, so just touching. And that's about it. And the 6/8 time, just so you know, this does feel good in the 6/8 time. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But a lot, you know, that's a lot of counting. So you could simplify it and just go, 1, 2, 1, 2. As long as you hear that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in your head, because that's the lilt of it, the sway of it. Okay? And Mark is going to sing this. Just let me make sure I'm in tune, Mark, because.
No, everybody's going to sing this. We're
Well,
all singing
everybody's
it. Yeah,
singing
we're all
it.
singing it
Okay,
together.
in this room. Well, yeah, we can all.
You can all sing
that,
too.
we can do that. Okay. Ready? Are you going to count us in, Mark?
You can count us in.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Wise men say only fools rush in,
But
I can't help falling in love with you. Shall I say, would it be a sin if I can't help falling in love with you? Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you. Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you, for I can't help falling
Very nice, very nice.
Beautiful, Don.
It was very nice.
Well
Okay,
done.
great. Good job. Good job.
Beautiful.
Love the
Good
picnic.
job.
Woo!
Good job, everyone.
Well done.
Elvis has left the building.
Okay.
Oh, where are we at here? 34, right.
Okay, the next song we have up is Wildflowers. It's a popular song by Tom Petty, the opening track from his eponymous 1994 album. Though it was not released as a single, it charted on the Billboard Hot Rock Songs chart at number 16 and at number 3 on the Billboard Lyric Find. In his career, he sold more than 80 million records worldwide, making him one of the best-selling music artists of all time. Petty and the Heartbreakers were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2002. Be aware, you may have noticed, I always put a count in at the beginning of the song. In this case, it's 1, 2, 1, 2. So, and those numbers are between bar lines. So in each measure, then there are 2 beats. And so in the instrumental down, halfway down, you'll see that there's a B flat and F within one measure. So that means you're doing 2. And then you go to 2 beats, and they're the D minor and the G. Okay? So it's a fast change. And then it goes back to the 2 beats for the C, 2 beats for the C. But just be aware of those fast changes there. They're really cool. Fit so well with the song. Okay, that's, I think, all I needed to say to you about that. Okay, this is a fun song. And you'll know your B flat cold by the end of it. B flat, very important because we use that in The Lion Sleeps Tonight. It's a very important chord. And I did put a post on Facebook that connected you to the BUG website, where there are lots of lovely tutorials on the B flat chord, because it's usually the first one, the first bar chord, other than perhaps the D7, I guess you could say. But the B flat is the first movable shape that you learn as a beginner. So, ready? 1, 2, 1, 2. Belong among the wildflowers. You belong in a boat out at sea. Sail away, kill off the hours. You belong somewhere you feel free. Run away, find you a lover. Go away somewhere all bright and new. I see no other who compares with you.
Ooh, that was
Very
good.
nice.
Good song, eh?
Amazing.
Very nice song. Nice and simple. A good way to learn your B flat.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, what do we have next? We have The Glory of Love. It's a song written by Billy Hill and was first recorded by Benny Goodman in 1936, a version that was a #1 pop hit. In 1951, rhythm and blues vocal group The Five Keys had their biggest hit with their version of the song, hitting #1 on the R&B chart for 4 weeks. This song was also featured in the 1988 hit movie Beaches, starring Bette Midler and Barbara Hershey, and a young Mayim Bialik, age 11, who some of you may recognize as Amy Farrah Fowler in The Big Bang Theory. She was awesome in it, and she looked so much like Bette Midler. Like
Yeah,
it looked
she
like
does,
she
yeah.
could be,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen that movie, or if you at least haven't seen Mayim singing that song in the movie, you gotta check it out.
She
It's
does
really
so
good.
well, yeah.
So good. So, what do we get here? We're not going to do it super slow.
We're gonna speed it up 10 beats per minute.
10 beats a minute. So there is the, let's see where it is. Oh yeah, a C diminished chord in here. Okay, diminished chords are lovely. Sharon, would you mind just showing that? I just want to show them the C diminished. So whenever there's a diminished chord, it's always, it either are these two, the first and the third string on the first fret, that's a diminished chord, or it slides up to you add on, so it's either first and third, and then you can move that shape up. And what that shape is, so remember, beginners, we talked about having a nice loose thumb at the back, okay, and you're going to be swiveling up like that. You're going to put your first finger on the 4th string, 2nd fret, your second finger on the 2nd fret, second string, your third finger on the 3rd fret, 3rd string, and your 4th finger on the 1st string, 3rd fret. So always break it down. You're usually laying down your index finger, your first finger first, and then that causes the other fingers to sort of fall in place. So what we're doing in this song is we're going from a C to a C diminished in sort of the bridge part. So when I'm going to that C, remember I said things are like a recipe? I can see that I'm going to be on a C going to a C diminished. Well, if I'm on a C like this with my first finger, then I'm going to have to really place a lot of other fingers and think about it. But if I know ahead of time that I'm going from that C to the C diminished, then I'm going to play the C with my 4th finger. And that way, you see, the other fingers just fall into place on top. Always placing that index finger first, and then the other 3 will just follow suit. So always look and see, and diminished chords are lovely. So it's well worth learning and practicing that chord shape. You're telling me to...
Sue,
Yeah,
Sue,
I'm listening.
it's Diane. I wonder, could you show how you go? I have a hard time going from the F to the F minor, and I wondered how you do that.
No particularly easy way. I'm in the F, and then I'm just jumping. Maybe someone else has I mean, I guess you could, if you knew, you could form your F with the 2nd and the 3rd fingers, and you know.
The stretch comes with practice.
But so you could do that. But I mean, I've practiced the song. So if I was having trouble with that F, I'd just sit there in the Chesterfield not even strumming, and just practicing jumping from one shape to the next.
Muscle memory.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, let's do this song. Ready? Ooh. Yeah. 2.
Sexy.
1, 2, 3, 4. You've got to give a little, take a little, and let your poor heart break a little. That's the story of, that's the glory of love. You've got to laugh a little, cry a little, and let the clouds roll by a little. That's the story of, that's the glory of love. As long as there's the two of us, we've got this world and all its charms. But when this world is through with us, we'll have each other's arms. You've got to win a little, lose a little, and always have the blues a little. That's the story of, that's the glory of love. And when the world is through with us, we'll have each other's arms. Well, you've got to win a little, lose a little, and always have the blues a little. That's the story of, that's the glory of love. Glory of love.
Beauty.
Very nice.
Good one.
Nice.
Done. Done.
Nice chorus section at the end there.
Yeah. Okay, the next song is
I think the answer to your F minor question is to slide that number 2 finger up.
Who was that? Was that Mike?
okay. Thank you. The next song is Hotel Yorba, the Little White Stripes. It's the lead single from the garage rock band The White Stripes' 2001 album, White Blood Cells. It was their first single to be released commercially. Jack White and his then wife May formed their rock duo in 1997 in Detroit, Michigan. They divorced in 2000 but continued playing together as The White Stripes until 2011. The White Stripes albums earned 4 Grammy Awards, and in 2015, Rolling Stone named them the sixth greatest duo of all time.
Oh, wow.
Since they disbanded, Jack White has won 12 Grammy Awards, and all 3 of his solo albums have reached #1 on the Billboard charts. Rolling Stone ranked him number 70 on its 2010 list of the 100 greatest guitarists of all time.
Wow.
So, a little White Stripes, little garage punk.
Garage punk, all right.
As Chris White brought this, Chris
Hill.
Hill brought this song to us at BUG. And he sings it fabulously, really channels Jack White with a yowling voice. And so we'll do our best, Chris Hill, if you're out there. And what do we have on this? Okay. Do I have some? No, I have handbook. Okay. I have stuff books. I have a foot tambourine down here. I just step on it with my heel. And that's it. Okay, let's be wild. Let's be wild.
Okay. Ready?
I am.
Loud enough for you?
It's loud enough. 1, 2, 1, 2. I was walking with one eye on the other side. I had 15 people telling me to move. I got moving on my mind. I felt shelter in some doll's hurt we were proud. I said 39 times that I love you too. Beauty I have found. Well, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Take the elevator at the hotel Yorba. I'll be glad to see you later. All they got inside is vacancy. I've been thinking of a little place down by the lake. They got a dirty old road leading up to the house. Wonder how long it will take till we're alone. Sitting on the front porch of that home, stomping our feet on the wooden board. Never gotta worry about locking the door. Well, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Take the elevator at the hotel Yorba. I'll be glad to see you later. All they got inside is vacancy. It might sound silly for me to think childish thoughts like these, but I'm so tired of acting tough, and I'm gonna do what I please. Let's get married in a big cathedral by a tree. 'Cause I'm the man that you love the most. You say I do at least. Well, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Take the elevator and the hotel Yorba. I'll be glad to see you later. All I got inside is vacancy. And it's 4, 5, 6, 7. Grab your umbrella and grab hold of me, 'cause I'm your big fella. All I got inside is vacancy. Woohoo!
Amazing.
Oh, a lot of energy there.
Beauty, that's going on the list. I like it. Going on the list.
Love the percussion.
Love all those flaps in there.
What fun, eh? It's a great, that's wonderful.
Love it.
It's a great song for at the jam, because when we're doing that at the jam and there's 100+ people in the pub, oh my God, the room,
Room's rocking.
It's so great. So from White Stripes to, this was a request that someone had for our request a song night. So I thought I'd throw it. I can't remember whether it was Mary Ellen Kenna, or I can't remember who requested.
Yeah, that was me too,
Oh,
Mary
was
Ellen.
it you? Okay, so we put it in here, Mary Ellen, for you.
Yes, thanks a lot. I love it.
Okay, so this one, I Will, is a song by the Beatles that was released on their 1968 double album, The Beatles. It was written by Paul McCartney while the Beatles were in India. McCartney has said about I Will that, quote, "It's still one of my favorite melodies that I've written. You can just occasionally get lucky with melody and it becomes rather complete. And I think this is one of them. Quite a complete tune." So this one here has, again, a diminished chord, same shape as we did in the other song, except it's down on the first fret. Okay, so be aware of that. This is a good example of where you can, so for example, where it says F7, you don't have to play F7, you can just play F. Although it's easy enough to drop your third and your fourth fingers on that third fret placement. But you can just play F if you want. In the part down below, Ellen, would you mind scrolling up, sweetie? Thank you. So you can see there's some down arrows there, and there's some pretty quick changes from the D minor to the B flat minor to the F. And there's so that's the first line, second line, same thing. And then the third line, you'll see there's a D minor, a B flat minor, an F, and then that F diminished, okay? And then it goes into the G minor 7. So that's a really challenging, quick, sequence. But what you can do is you can leave out the B flat minor and the F diminished. So you can just do B minor and then the F and then to the G minor 7, and it'll be just fine. Okay, so always look for ways of simplifying chords, like instead of a D minor 7 in the last, in one of the songs that we just played, you can just do a D minor. Whenever there's a 7th, you can pretty much often get away with just the root of it. And the same with the, well, there's lots of chords you can do that, eh? Mm-hmm. So just try different things, and if they sound okay, you can play them. All right, let's do this, Mark. I don't think there's anything else that I need to say about this. Ready? Oh, nice. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
How long I've loved you, you know I love you still. Will I wait a lonely lifetime? If you want me to, I will. For if I ever saw you, I didn't catch your name, but it never really mattered. I will always feel the same. Love you forever and forever. Love you with all my heart. Love you whenever we're together. Love you when we're apart. And when at last I find you, your song will fill the air. Sing it loud so I can hear you. Make it easy to be near you. For the things you do endear you to me. Oh, you know I will. I will.
Beautiful song.
Lovely.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Pretty song.
Love that.
So,
Yeah, great job.
Well done.
Pretty song.
so if you
We'll
can,
need to practice that one.
yeah, and if you can do it, if you find a song like that you love, that you really enjoy, and it has some challenging chords in it, and some challenging rundowns there, just take your time and break it into little itty bitty pieces. Just practice the rundown. Just practice 2 of the chords in the rundown, and do that over and over. Forget about the strum. Forget about everything, and just practice muscle memory of those chords. That's how it's how you learn your chords. Is to try new things and break it down into itty bitty. Someone's singing and it's lovely.
And
That's next month. Will come a waltzing Matilda with Okay, so everybody on mute now. Everybody on mute.
Not unmute.
If, on mute.
Oh.
Put mute on. But it was lovely. Okay, so on this I'm going to be playing my banjo uke. The next song is In Spite of Ourselves. And this is a song written by John Prine for a movie called Daddy and Them, which was written and directed by Billy Bob Thornton and starred Prine and Thornton. Thornton asked John Prine to write a song for the end of the movie, and Prine wrote it loosely based on the characters in the film. Daddy and Them wasn't released until 2001, 2 years after the song appeared on Prine's album, In Spite of Ourselves. Prine wrote the duet with Iris DeMent in mind to sing it with him. DeMent said it took a lot of courage to sing some of the lines the first few times, and true enough. That is true. Okay.
We haven't mentioned this yet for the newbies here. You'll notice that the first verse there, it's hard to read the words. Those are ghost words. So that's just so that it's an instrumental, and the words are there just to give you an idea as to where we are in the...
Helps with the melody.
Helps with the melody, so you know when you're supposed to be changing chords.
Okay. Got the stomp box again, just for a small part of this. My banjo uke, and sometimes people ask me what kind of a uke it is, and it's in Alabama.
Are you picking this up, Sharon?
Yes. Just the beginning part, yeah.
Sharon's-
Actually, yes, I am.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's the sound of my banjo uke.
Ready?
Okay, ready? Sharon?
You ready?
1, 2, 1.
She don't like her eggs all runny. She thinks crossing her legs is funny. She looks down her nose at money. She gets on like the Easter bunny. She's my baby, I'm her honey. I'm never gonna let her go.
Well, it got late in the month of Sundays. Caught him once and he was sniffing my undies. He ain't real sharp, but he gets things done. Drinks his beer like it's oxygen. But he's my baby and I'm his honey. Never gonna let him go.
In spite of ourselves, we'll end up sitting on a rainbow. Against all odds, honey, we're the big door prize. We're gonna spite our noses right off of our faces. There won't be nothing but a big old heart in our eyes. She thinks all my jokes are corny. Convict movies make her horny. She likes ketchup on her scrambled eggs. Swears like a sailor when she shaves her legs. She takes a licking and keeps on ticking. I'm never gonna let her go.
Well, he got 4 balls and a big brass monkey. He's a whacked-out weirdo and a love bug junkie. Sly as a fox, crazy as a loon. Payday comes and he's a howling at the moon. But he's my baby, I don't mean maybe. I'm never gonna let him go.
In spite of ourselves, we'll end
old hearts dancing in our eyes.
There won't be nothing but a big old heart dancing in our eyes.
Well, that was pretty good. folks.
Pretty good, eh?
Well done.
Yeah.
Very
Well done,
romantic.
guys.
Okay.
Love relationships.
Notice I wasn't singing those lyrics with them either.
So I gotta tell you, I'm gonna share this with you. Little married love after 44 years of marriage. Today I went up to take a shower for y'all folks out there, and I started the water running, and then I noticed on the floor of the shower, this is a bathtub shower, you know, I noticed there's all these big, huge toenail clippings. And I'm like, gross, gross. And if I'd stepped in there, so I cleaned them up. And
How long Sharon been at the house?
Who said that?
Evan didn't say anything.
Oh, that is you. Look who it is. Look who how are you?
Oh, Bevan.
It's hard to recognize.
I'm doing just fine.
Excellent.
Good to see you, Bevan.
Of course it had to come from him.
Yeah.
Well, then I had to go in there and clean out the hairball out of the drain, you know. There's a dead rat in there.
That's true. The dead rat in
Okay,
the
that's
drain.
enough, guys. That's enough.
Okay.
So we fit right in with that song.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just, ooh.
Ew. I know, right?
Okay, where are we at here? Oh, yes. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, the next song is Riptide. This is a song by Australian singer-songwriter Vance Joy that was featured on his debut studio album, Dream Your Life Away, in 2014. Riptide would go on to have commercial success in Australia. Riptide peaked at number 10 in the UK and entered Billboard's alternative songs chart, peaking at number 1. By May 2015, so within the year, it was the second longest charting single still in the US Billboard Hot 100, appearing on that list for 43 weeks. In May 2015, it was announced that Riptide had become the longest charting song in Australian recording industry's chart history, having remained in the top 100 for 107 weeks and counting. And it even surpassed that record after that. Really popular song. Back in the early days of, back in 2013, 2014, every young student who was learning to play uke this was the song that they wanted to learn. When we went to, we did a little junior thing over at the school across the street from us, and this is a song that they wanted to learn. So,
that was a long time ago.
it was a long time ago. Yeah, so Riptide. Okay, anything in here?
Just a check.
There's a G sus4 in the bridge. You can just play G. And let's see. Yeah, I think that's about it. There's down arrows in there. There's a ghost count. That just tells you to keep beat, keep rhythm to the count. And I think that's pretty much it.
Got it.
1, 2, 1. Sorry.
Sorry, go on.
Okay, now you've messed me up.
Got a toenail get in the way there.
Okay. Mark's giving me a tempo because we're going to try and bring the drum machine in a little later.
Yeah.
I've forgotten it now. 1, 2, 1, 2.
I was scared of dentists and the dark. I was scared of pretty girls and starting conversations. So all my friends are turning green. You're the magician's assistant in their dreams. words wrong. I just wanna know if you're gonna stay. I just gotta know. I can't have it any other way. I swear she's destined for the screen. Closest thing to Michelle Pfeiffer that you've ever seen. Oh, lady, running down to the Riptide, taking away to the dark side. I wanna be your left-hand man. I love you when you're singing that song, and I got a lump in my throat 'cause you're gonna sing the words wrong. Oh, lady, running down to the Riptide, taking away to the dark side. I wanna be your left-hand man. I love you when you're singing the song, and I got a lump in my throat 'cause you're gonna sing the words wrong. I got a lump in my throat 'cause you're gonna sing the words wrong. Woohoo!
Yeah, really like that. That was a cool song. One of the first songs I learned.
On
Beauty.
fire.
Love it. Well done.
Beauty. Haven't done it in months. Fantastic.
Isn't that awesome?
Awesome.
As I always say, very important for youth groups everywhere to, now this isn't a current song anymore, I mean, but it's very important for longevity of your group, for exciting young people to join your group and be part of it, to include current songs. Do not be afraid of them. A lot of youth groups who have a lot of older folks in them that are used to, they just stick with the 60s basics and that's it sort of thing. So do not be afraid to go out of your comfort zone and actually learn the latest songs and use them in your groups. And that will encourage your young people to stay with you and or to join you. Okay, next song is On a Slow Boat to China.
Just 3 songs left. Thanks for
This could take a while.
We'll do it up. We'll do it a little faster than.
So,
Oh.
Oh, I get it. Slow back to China.
Yeah.
Oh.
so yeah, 3 more songs left, folks. And we record all this and we post the video. We usually try to get it up. We'll try to get it up tomorrow. It takes a bit of work. And so you can play along with any of these songs, and I index it so that you can actually go right to the song you want to play. On a Slow Boat to China is a popular song written by Frank Lesser and published in 1948. Frank Lesser's office was in the Brill Building in Times Square, and it was from here that he ran Frank Music, one of the largest music publishing companies in the country. The Brill Building is famous for housing music industry offices and studios where some of the most popular American songs were written. There was a documentary on it that we watched, wasn't there? It was really interesting. If you get a chance to see it, I can't remember the name. On a Slow Boat to China is a well-known pop standard recorded by many artists, including a duet between Rosemary Clooney and Bing Crosby, Ella Fitzgerald, Frank Sinatra, Jimmy Buffett, Fats Domino, and others. I did create a riff here for you. Again, nice and easy. And if you're not playing the riff, then you can play the chords up above the riff.
And bass players, you're playing the lowest 2 strings you got there, the E and the A, and there's the riff right there. You just forget about all those other dotted lines below that.
And then, as I say, I always put the timing underneath so that if you're on your own, you can figure out what the timing of that riff is. Okay, sometimes that's pretty challenging to figure out, so that just makes it easier for you. Okay, chords in here, and E spider, again, D minor 7, you can just do D minor. We have another diminished chord, different name, but look at it, same shape. So learn that shape, really, really important. And that's about it. We have the F minor, we've seen that already. So let's do this. Are you ready, Miss Sharon?
I'm ready.
Okay. Ooh.
China, all by myself alone. I'd love to get you on a slow boat to China, all to myself alone. A twist in the rudder and a rip in the sail, drifting and dreaming, honey, throw the compass over the rail. Out on the ocean, far from all the commotion, melting your heart of stone. Honey, I'd love to get you on a slow boat to China, all by myself alone.
That was beautiful.
Very nice.
Nice.
Fantastic.
Lovely.
Pretty song, eh?
Very nice.
Okay.
Bevan, you look so different when you're not by a campfire or in a tent.
Yeah.
Or sober?
Well, I wasn't gonna go there, but maybe.
No, I'm sorry. I'm drinking like I'm at the Watchtower. I haven't drank this much beer in years. Since the last time I met you.
We have friends, Bevan's it's Oakville, right, Bevan?
That's right.
Yeah. And Kimberly, who used to live in Toronto, she's down in Halifax, now.
Yep.
But they would come up for the camping that we did. And one year we had it in Algonquin, and then the next year we had it, every other year, we had it at on the St. Lawrence.
Norrisburg, yeah.
Yeah, and it was wonderful. And we set up a screen just with a white plastic sheet, and had campfires, and it was wonderful.
And 8 bugs.
Oh, yeah.
For those of you who don't know what the white plastic screen was, that was to project the music. We
Yeah.
took a projector with us and we projected all this.
Yeah,
That was fun.
A
Someday
lot of
we'll
fun.
be able to do it again.
Yep.
Thank you.
Hopefully
Yes.
squeeze in later. Okay, next song is Sugar, Sugar.
Whoa, careful there, careful.
Sugar, Sugar is a pop song written by Jeff Berry and Andy Kim in 1969. It was originally recorded by the Archies, a bubblegum pop band formed by a group of fictional teenagers in the television cartoon series, The Archie Show. The music featured in the series was recorded by session musicians. Their recordings were released as a series of singles and albums that achieved worldwide chart success. Their most successful song, this one, Sugar Sugar, became one of the biggest hits of the bubblegum pop genre that flourished from 1968 to 1973. It reached #1 in the US, this song, on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1969, my first year of high school, and stayed there for 4 weeks. It was also #1 on the UK singles chart in that same year for 8 weeks. So, the strum we're going to use for this, it works out really well, is just a simple So down, up, chop, up, down, up, chop, up, down, up, chop, up, down, up, chop, up. And if you can't do the chuck, that's fine. Just do down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So you want the emphasis on the 2 and the 4. And so it's just a shuffle strum. Okay? And Mark's going to lead us in.
Am I? Yeah, right.
This is actually one of our hardest songs to put together for tonight. Right, Mark?
It was all my fault.
You're my sweetie.
Thanks, dearie. Okay.
Ready?
One,
Channel your arch.
2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sugar, ah, honey, honey, you are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you. Honey, ah, sugar, sugar, you are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you. I just can't believe the loveliness of loving you. I just can't believe it's true. I just can't believe the wonders of this feeling too. I just can't believe it's true. Ah, sugar. Ah, honey, honey. You are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you. Oh, honey, ah, sugar, sugar, you are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you. When I kissed you, girl, I knew how sweet a kiss could be.
Oh, how sweet a kiss can be.
Like the summer sunshine, pour your sweetness over me.
Pour your sweetness over me.
Whoa, 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 sugar.
Pour a little sugar on me, honey.
Pour a little sugar on me, baby. I'm gonna make your life so sweet. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Pour a little sugar on me. Oh, yeah. Pour a little sugar on me, honey. Pour a little sugar on me, baby. I'm gonna make your life so sweet. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Pour a little sugar on me, honey. Ah, sugar. Honey, honey. You are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you. Whoa, 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 honey. Ah, sugar, sugar. You are my candy girl. You remember that show? Do you remember that? I remember watching that as a kid.
Oh, it's so fun.
It's NutraSweet these days.
That's right.
Ah, NutraSweet.
So many of the shows we used to watch, they probably wouldn't be able to get away with today, right?
Yeah.
All of them.
All of them. Okay.
We've got one more song for you tonight. Ring of Fire. You've all, oh, look,
Not
even
bad.
though that's pretty good.
Pretty
We're
good.
finishing up by 9, and that's pretty darn good. I want to thank again Ellen for being the hostess with the mostest in the background, and letting us use her Zoom Pro account, which we're very thankful for. Sharon joining us from Vernon Ukulele Players, our dear good friend, and my sweetie mom. Okay,
With the
Ring of Fire.
toenails.
With the toenails.
Oh.
Okay.
You don't need to bring
She
that up.
brought that.
Yeah. You're just trying to pass it. You're just trying to get
I'm
the
not
attention
gonna let
taken away
that
from
one
you.
go, you know. Mark,
Sharon.
But I could use the rat in the drain too at some point. So.
Okay, so Ring of Fire is
Beauty.
a song written by June Carter Cash and Merle Kilgore that was originally recorded in 1963 by June's sister, Anita Carter. When the song failed to become a major hit for Anita, Cash recorded it his own way, adding the mariachi-style kazoos, horns, from his dream. Johnny Cash's recording was ranked number 4 on CMT's 100 Greatest Songs of Country Music in 2003, and number 87 on Rolling Stone's list of the 500 greatest songs of all time. In June 2014, Rolling Stone ranked the song number 27 on its list of the 100 greatest country songs of all time. So this again is a big popular one when we're playing out, because everybody has their kazoos. And let me make sure I've got everything here that I need. And this is kind of, you'll notice that Johnny Cash does the same thing that June Carter, right? Carter family. They tend to switch from 4 beats to a bar to halftime bar, so 2 beats to a bar and then back again. You'll notice that in a lot of the Carter family songs. And we were also going to do auto harp tonight. Sharon was going to play auto harp, but it just didn't carry well.
It was my playing, must be, because they told me to go put it in the car. I got fired.
It just didn't carry well on Zoom.
Yeah,
but it would have looked cool. Okay, so here we go.
I could get my auto harp and you could just stand there holding it.
Or just pretend.
Yeah. Okay, Mark, we're going to start with the drum. So here we go. The ones where you see the down arrows, that's where there's just 2 beats in a bar, and then we're back to 4 beats in the bar. Well, I counted in 2, so there we go. Never mind. Don't even bother with the count, really. Just feel
whatever
it.
you like.
Feel it. Feel it. That's what I always say about these songs. Feel it. 1, 2, 1. Oh, that was a feel it. Very weak horn part. 1, 2, 1. Love is a burning thing, and it makes a fiery ring. Bound by wild desire, I fell into a ring of fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. Went down, 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 and the flames went higher. And it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire, the ring of fire. The taste of love is sweet when hearts like ours meet. I fell for you like a child. Oh, but the fire went wild. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went higher. And it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire, the ring of fire again. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went higher. And it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire, the ring of fire. And it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire, the ring of fire.
Very good, guys. Very nice, very nice. Super, super.
Beauty.
Thank you so much. Guys, thanks a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
Good
you
to
so
see you
much.
again.
Bye. Take care.
Oh, we done?
Oh, guys are the best.
Bye.
Next month is
You
kitchen
everyone.
party.
Great job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Wonderful toenails and all.
Ah, bye. Jane, you
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Mark.
That was great.
Thank you.
I'll call you soon.
Valentine's Day.
Bye, Ashley.
See you next week.
Good night. This is so
Peter
very,
still
very
made it
much.
to
Hey, Peter.
2 in the morning for him.
I want to know. I want to know if Mark cut his
Bravo.
toenails off to try to make the wheels spin better for him on Valentine's Day, or if he cut them after.
Well, let's just say it'll be nice to crawl into bed with him tonight. Nicer than
And there'll be no rats.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
Oh, good night, everybody. Don't
You
forget
be nicer,
Good night.
safer.
next month is our Celtic kitchen party, so join us.
Good night. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you for your
Good
hard
night.
work, Mark and Sue. Love
All
you
the
guys.
best, guys.
Love you.
Sharon.
Thanks, everybody. Mark,
Miss ya.
Sharon, Ellen.
Bye, Bevan.
Casey and Mary.
Love you, miss you.
Bye, Kenny.
Love you guys.
We'll call.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Stay
Bye.
safe.
Bye, Mike.
Bye, Ed. Good
Bye,
night,
all.
Peter. Go to sleep now.
Yeah, it's 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Well, I've had a great time. Thank you.
Oh, wonderful, Peter.
Judy.
See you next month.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Stay safe.
Kimberly, hope your wrist is
Bye.
better.
Bye now. Thank
Too, Mark. Love
Bye,
you guys.
Ed. Bye.
Bye.
All the
Good
best.
night.
Good night, Kimberly.
Good night, Bevan. Good night, Kimberly.
Hi, thank you.
Good night. Good night, Lorraine. Bye, Judith. Nice to
Bye.
have you with us.
It's been fun. It's been great.